Russia sets conditions for talks with Ukraine. Russia has stated its readiness to resume talks with Ukraine if Kiev accepts the current realities on the battlefield, and the conditions were outlined by Russian President Vladimir Putin in his speech at the Foreign Ministry in June this year. Deputy Chairman of the Russian Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, stressed that, for the talks to take place, Ukraine must acknowledge the changes that have occurred, especially regarding the territorial situation in Donbass and Novorossiya. Medvedev also mentioned that discussions on Ukraine and Syria were discussed during his recent meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. We discussed not only ways to further develop bilateral relations, but also considered changes in the international political situation. We touched on major issues on the global agenda, including the Syrian crisis. In addition, we had an in-depth discussion on the Russia-Ukraine crisis and related conflicts, Medvedev said. Mr. Medvedev added that Chinese President Xi Jinping had put forward China's ideas on a possible solution to the conflict in Ukraine. As you know, Russia supports these proposals. However, there are still a number of issues that are of concern to many countries and require further discussion and consensus, he said. In a speech at the Foreign Ministry on June 14th, Russian President Vladimir Putin outlined the conditions for resolving the conflict with Ukraine. He demanded that Ukraine withdraw all its forces from the Donbass and Novorossiya regions and abandon its intention to join NATO. Russia also demanded the lifting of all Western sanctions and asked Ukraine to commit to maintaining a non-aligned, non-nuclear status. In addition, Russia stressed the need to ensure the rights and freedoms of the Russian-speaking community in Ukraine. In addition, the Ukraine issue has also attracted the attention of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. In a post on the Truth Social platform, Mr. Trump called for an immediate ceasefire and negotiations to end the conflict. According to him, Ukraine wants to reach a peace agreement and is ready to negotiate to resolve the crisis. These developments show that the parties involved are trying to find a solution to the long-standing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, but there are still many major challenges to reaching a consensus.